Hello and welcome to Into the Paranormal podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Harry.
So, Harry, mate, our first ever podcast.
I know, mate. Exciting, innit?
I know, yeah, and hopefully many more to come. So,
Yeah.
how are you feeling today, mate?
I'm feeling really energised and happy today. How about yourself?
Good, mate. Good. Yeah, I'm feeling really good. Really
That's
good.
good.
So, to the viewers, I'd just like to say before we get started, today's podcast is more about getting to know me and Harry and how we got into the paranormal. So after this podcast every week, we'll obviously be talking about the investigations that we do. So for today, we're just going to talk a bit about us and how we got into the paranormal. So hopefully you'll like it. And if you do, could you please like and subscribe to our page to watch the rest? It'll obviously help us going forward. And we just hope you enjoy it, really. So, Harry.
Yes, mate.
Have you ever had any paranormal activity?
Yeah, mate. I have once. But I'm going to say I didn't believe in the paranormal until this experience happened to me.
So what was the experience?
The experience was I was at Manchester Road with 3 friends.
Mm-hmm.
We were sitting in the car just chatting away. Then we heard this knock on the window. We was looking around trying to blame each other. It was you, it was you, it was you.
Yeah, so it obviously, like, you instantly think, don't you, like, you're knocking on that window,
Yeah.
it's one of you, but obviously
Yeah.
no one was owning up to it.
Yeah. Then there was no one in the car park. It was 12 o'clock at night. It terrified us. And we just shot off straight out there, straight away. There was no stopping us.
Just get out of there quick.
Yeah.
Hell no, and just go.
Yeah. But on the way home, it actually made me think about the paranormal, and it actually got me really interested to look into it further
Yeah.
and make myself wary about what else is out there. So there's got to be more than us out there.
Yeah.
Then
True, very true.
obviously, like, I got home, still couldn't think about it. Then I was just researching it up.
Mm-hmm.
Then it just made me really interested into it.
So obviously, what happened to you then just made you want to know more about the paranormal. You know, like, is it true? And if spirits can do what they did that night, is that what was like going through your head?
Yeah, it was. It was going through my head, like, loads of different things. Like, if they can do that, why can't they make themselves known in different ways?
Yeah.
So, like, talking to us, letting us see them and stuff like that. But it did kind of scare me.
Yeah, I bet it would, mate. If I was sat in that car and I heard a knock on the window, I'd be screaming. I'd be like, oh, hell no, I want out. Like, you know, especially if no one was in the car park and you're hearing this knock on the window.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know how I explain my feelings. Honestly, I don't think I'd ever go back to that car park again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it's good stuff.
What are the top 3 places you would like to go and investigate, and why?
My top 3 places where I'd like to investigate. Well, it's a tough one, that, because there's loads of places that I really want to investigate. You know, not just here in the UK, but all over the world. Like, there's tons of places. So, but if you put me on the spot and I had to think of 3 right now,
Yeah.
I think I'm not even going to say what positions are going to be in, because it's quite hard. All 3 of them would be like my go-to right now.
Yeah.
So the first one is, I'd probably say the Ancient Ramin. So it's like a pub. I've seen a lot of videos online about it. I've seen investigation teams go in there and do a bit of investigating, and it is very haunted. You know, like, the stuff that they get, you know, on the cameras, the evidence that they catch is like second to none. So, like, it's something I would really want to do in the future, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, because me just watching the other podcast people do it and watching the other investigation people do it, I'm thinking, Jesus, that's scary. That.
Yeah.
I just don't know how I would feel in that situation.
Yeah.
You know, like, you see them scream and tell each other calm down, I wouldn't know how to calm down. The only time I'll be able to calm down is when I'm out that door. You know, get me out, man. But that's in one of my top threes, definitely. Also, one of my biggest places in the UK I really want to go to, and the likes of Most Haunted has been there. Ghost Adventures have been there, and quite a few other people. And it's in, obviously, everyone should know this. It's in London. It's called the Tower of London.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that also has like the underground like tunnels and stuff. It's meant to be like really, really haunted. So, that's somewhere I really want to go and investigate. Obviously, I don't know tons about it.
Yeah.
You only see what you see on telly, but what I've seen on telly so far is it's terrifying. I couldn't imagine me and you inside the Tower of London on our own. Honestly, like the professionals go in there and it absolutely terrifies them. So imagine me and you in there, it'd be absolutely crazy. But obviously, it's something that I want to do, and we hopefully going forward, it's something we can do. Because trust me, mate, that is one mean scary place, and I know a lot of people who has gone in there and excuse me, has never gone back. I actually know a paranormal team who I'm not going to state who they are, and I wish them well, but they have not. They've stopped doing paranormal work because of what they found and what they got in there absolutely petrified them. To and when you think about stuff like that, you do have to take stuff like this very seriously because you just don't know what can happen. You don't know what's around the corner. You don't know what's actually in that building, and you don't really want to tick a spirit off.
Yeah.
Because no one knows what a spirit can do, and if it's evil, man, you try and wind up an evil spirit. It's like. I hope she doesn't hate me saying it, but it's like trying to wake your missus up in the morning. Especially mine. She's not very happy. So so I can imagine what it's like trying to upset a bad spirit, as you want to call it.
Yeah.
So that's one place I'd really love to go, and me one of all time, and it's obviously not in the UK, but I've seen it tons on telly. I'd even go and just tour it if I could. If I had enough money, I'd go there and tour it just as a guest. But if I ever had the opportunity to investigate somewhere, it'd be Alcatraz in America.
How come you would go to Alcatraz?
Because of the nature of it. Because it's on an island where there's water surrounding it. So you got to think, mate. Imagine the energy, all the depth there, what's happened, the energy from the water moving. Everyone knows a lot about Alcatraz. The ghost sightings, how haunted it is. Like, all the famous people who were in there, either died or tried to escape and they died. So it's one haunted place, man. So, like, we all know Al Capone was there.
Yeah.
And you love Al Capone. So, imagine having that opportunity just to go in Al Capone's cell and say, try and communicate with the man.
Yeah. That would be good.
So, like, Alcatraz has got to be on everyone's bucket list. Any paranormal activity group out there, paranormal investigation team, whatever you do in the paranormal realm, you want to go that building. Everyone does want to go there. I'm not saying it's not the hauntedest place in the world. I can probably say better. I can want to go to better, but the history behind Alcatraz, why it was built, why it was made, the death there, people trying to escape, obviously people killing other people in there. I'm not saying it's a good thing, by the way, viewers, but on a investigation side, I think of the evidence that we could provide for people, because there's obviously a lot of people out there who don't believe in the paranormal, and this is kind of why I want to be a paranormal investigator, because getting the evidence out there for people, because I know there's not a load of non-believers and they think it's a load of, whatever they want to
Rubbish.
call it, yeah. But I don't. So that Alcatraz is one of them places where you can think to yourself, yeah, I'm gonna get some good stuff there tonight.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think to myself, could I last 12 hours in the Alcatraz
Being locked down.
being locked down? I probably think, yeah, I can, because I'm probably stupid that way, and
Not right in Ed.
yeah, pretty much crazy in the head.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know what it's like, and it's scary as hell. But I think the scary part is what makes it fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when we've been on investigations in the past, it's been terrifying, and like,
Yeah.
but you want to go, don't we? You think to yourself, oh, we've got to go now, we've got to go, but at the same time, it's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the buzz you get. So, it's you have two ways of being terrified and being excited. So, them top three for me at this present time, I probably have a top 50. None of them are categoried in from 1 to 50. They're all unique in their own way on how it became haunted and why they're haunted. So, no, it's a good question, and I'm sure there's a lot of other investigators out there who I don't even think they would know their top 50. You know what I mean? Because there's that many. And being in the UK, there's a lot of haunted locations out there and I wish I could do like one a day.
Yeah.
But obviously the body can't have that, and the mind never mind one. And it's the mindset. I would love to do every paranormal is like building or area or location in the UK, and hopefully we can do that going forward. But the answer to your question is they're my top three, and
yeah,
I love them locations, and hopefully one day, James Touchwood, will get the opportunity to at least do one of them. I've been made up just to do one of them, but if we ever get the opportunity to do all three, I'd love to do all three.
That sounds good, mate. Good top three choices.
Yeah. So we've done a few investigations over the last couple of weeks. So to the viewers, we have done a couple of investigations. We are currently doing them up on our computer, so they're just being edited at the minute. So once we've fully edited them, we'll be uploaded onto our TikTok page. So if you could please go and follow our TikTok page, what is obviously Into the Paranormal. We'll put the link in the description below. We also have an Instagram page, what's Into the Paranormal, where these clips will be going on. So go and follow that page. I will add the description in for that. So hopefully just keep an eye out for them. They'll be out soon. We've got some good stuff, haven't we, on that?
Yep.
Some really good stuff. We didn't get too much because obviously we don't have all the paranormal stuff in the world yet. We've got quite a bit of stuff. We did get a bit of paranormal work out of it, and hopefully you'll see on the clips. And me and Harry did get scared now and again in them, so it's quite funny. It's quite funny to watch our reactions. Don't get me wrong; it's embarrassing for us, but it's good. It's good for you to see the real raw evidence of paranormal and how the investigators actually are on paranormal events. We don't want to put out there that it's all plain and sailing, it's easy. It's not. Us as paranormal investigators, we want to show the truth. It's not about the views. It's not about anything else to us. It's about the truth, the raw. I want you to see how we are in an investigation. We do get petrified, and you'll see it on the clips, but we don't mind that because we want you to see the truth. And to be fair, spirit kind of like feed off that energy. So don't get me wrong, we're not always terrified. Maybe I'm not going to say that, but
about 40% chance.
Yeah, about 95% chance we're petrified, but we love it, and that's why we do it. So just keep an eye out for them clips, guys, because they are coming very shortly, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. So how have you been for you, these investigations? How have they been for you, and what are your experiences so far?
Well, how I felt on both of them was excited because I'm actually going out there trying to get more evidence of it and getting more interested every single day we go out and do the videos and the content and investigating. And obviously, like, petrified at the same time that there's something out there more than us, what we won't physically understand.
So, obviously, we've done 2 investigations, and obviously the viewers don't know that yet because we've not really spoke about it.
Yeah.
So the first investigation we went to where?
We went to Sankey Valley, the maze.
Yeah, and obviously in Sankey, like when we were there, how did you feel? Like, was there a time in there where you was a bit vulnerable or a bit scared or anything like that?
I would say like scared, unsafe, and petrified. Unsafe because it was dark and it felt claustrophobic kind of thing, but it's kind of weird because you're out in the open.
Yeah.
And then just like the terrified is like the darkness, what has sank you.
It's pitch black.
It's like you don't know where you're going, and when we turned the torches off, like we could not see an inch from our foot or our face. Anything could have been there.
It was like basically working off the camera, weren't we?
Yeah,
what we could see on the camera. So, like, you can imagine everyone's been in a pitch black room. You can't see your hand in front of your face. So, it was our first ever paranormal investigation, wasn't it? So, it was kind of intimidating, really, because we know a history about Sankey Valley. Before any investigation, we do our historic reviewing on it. So we review the location, we review the history about the location, didn't we? So we knew a lot, obviously, going in, and we tried to obviously get that evidence for people. So first of all, we went into the maze, and it was pitch black. As you imagine, everyone knows what a maze looks like on the outside. So you get lost, don't you? And we had to try and debunk a lot of stuff there, didn't we, really? Because obviously the wind with the trees and that, but we did pick up a few things, didn't we, really? The EMF spiked quite a few times, didn't it? So... and
we heard footsteps, sounds like running from inside the maze, but we couldn't literally see it.
No, it was really scary, wasn't it? So, like, I don't think we got enough evidence, though, really, did we?
No.
And to be fair, I didn't expect it with our first investigation, because obviously we're getting used to it and stuff like that. So I didn't expect much, but what we got was quite exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So what was the other investigation that we've done?
We did Foxhill Cemetery in Stockton Heath, and that one was, I felt safe, but then I felt a chill when I went on my own down to a place where we did before the night. We did a little tester.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of spikes down at the bottom. So I went there on my own, and it just felt different from night than day, because you got people there in the day and it's like everybody's there. Then when you're on your own, it's just terrifying. But I felt safe at the same time as being terrified.
I think with that investigation, it's a tough one for us, because people expect we're in a graveyard, or you're going to catch everything. You're going to get so much, and people expect it. But what a lot of people don't understand is certain graveyards, especially ones that are looked after, they're spiritual grounds. So you can't expect everything. But that was another fantastic night for us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because we caught a lot of stuff that night. The EMF reader went off loads of times. This was during the day, and during the night, so we got quite a few good clips on that. We caught a lot on the EVP, didn't we?
Yeah.
Voices coming through the EVP, what was pretty scary. And the same again, we heard a lot of footsteps, didn't we? A lot of walking around us, but also the spirit box. The answers we were getting off the spirits, was proper. Like, it wasn't like just random words, put it that way. So we asked a question, we got a response back, and it was to do with a question, and it terrified me at one point. So when I was doing an investigation, me and Harry went our own separate ways. I was walking towards the bottom of the graveyard. Harry's like on the other side of the graveyard at this point, and through my spirit box, I said to the spirits, like, if there's anyone here, would you like to talk to me? That, like a simple question any investigator asks. And I got the reply was quiet. So I said to the spirits, like, are you trying to tell me to shut up? Like, be quiet because I'm in the graveyard, you're all sleeping. It was quite funny. So, but at the same time, it terrified me because I thought, they tell me to be quiet here. So obviously you got to ask more questions because you want the evidence. And the second question that I asked him was, please come forward and talk to us, if you got anything you want to say. And the answer I got was, don't provoke us. So I know, and honestly, when I read that, I nearly turned around and walked out because, the spirits were saying to me, like, don't keep bothering us, stop marrying us, don't provoke us to do something you don't want us to do. You don't know what spirit, you got to understand is you don't know what spirit you're talking to unless they tell you your name. And we did get a few names that night, didn't we? It's scary, man, because I could have been talking to a bad spirit, and if I'd provoked it anymore, you don't know what could have happened. They could have got attachments. Yeah. They could have physically harmed me or you. So you've got to watch what you're doing sometimes as well. So obviously I still ask questions after it, but I was cautious of what I was asking. So that was a scary bit. But before that, I was up at the top of the graveyard. You'll see these clips, by the way. And I was asking the spirit to come forward through the spirit box. And I was asking the spirits about the grave and that. Who was in the grave where I was stood, like what was the names, and did they have anything to say? And one of the words what stuck to me today, mate, it's really stuck with me, and it was memories. So like I've just thought it was quite emotional really, because I thought to myself, like, is that spirit saying it still remembers its memories with its family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was out of anything what could have been said. Because I remember basically asking, is there any spirits around me? And if there's any spirits linked with this grave, have you got anything to say? And it come through saying memories. I was a bit like, wow. And then, so I just asked the spirit, I was like, where was the spirit at the time? Where was it stood? And you'll see on the clips, the next reply I got sent chills through my spine. The reply I got was, look left. And honestly, it absolutely petrified me. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, because I've asked the question to the spirit, where are you? And the reply is, look left. And trust me, I didn't want to look I didn't want to look left, honest to God. It absolutely petrified me. But at the same time, you can't get any more validation than that.
Yeah.
You got to think, people think sometimes a spirit box is all random words come through. A spirit box is made of random, like over 1,000 words. So for that to come out when I'm asking where the spirit is, you can't get any more validation than that. And
you can't.
It was outstanding, and I thought, this is the evidence we're looking for, innit? For the non-believers, and obviously for us as well, because even though we do the investigations, don't mean like, we go in there and expect things to happen or believe things are going to happen, you know what I mean? It's got to happen for us to believe it, and you can't have any more validation than a spirit asking you, answering your question to what we've asked them. Like, I asked where it was, and it told me it was to the left of me. Man, it gave me chills. It really gave me chills. And, I know things happened to you, didn't they, while I was there as well?
Yeah, as I was on my own down at the bottom, I heard like this rustling behind me going past these bushes. It didn't sound like any farmer animal, as there is a farm down
Yeah,
at the bottom.
there is a farm at the bottom, and in some of the clips, we do explain that you can hear the animals, by the way, making a lot of noise. So we do debunk that, but you do get the other part of the spiritual, don't you,
Yeah.
in the video?
And once I was walking down there, I was just talking to the camera, and I heard like this rustling in the background in the bushes, and it didn't sound like a normal animal I've ever heard. It just sounded like a creepy, like growl kind of thing, and it just scared me. I almost ran, but I didn't.
You almost ran.
Like, I almost ran, but I didn't. I just stood my ground and I just kept on walking, as that's not what we're supposed to do.
Thing is, though, like that's perfect, though, isn't it, for paranormal
Yeah.
investigations, because that's you being truthful, isn't it? Like it petrifies you to the point where you wanted to run.
Yeah.
But that's the exciting part for people who don't do investigations is you ask for it and you can receive it, and trust me, you don't want to receive it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do not want to receive it because it is terrifying, but after you've had that minute to yourself to calm down and you think about what's just happened and the validation you've got,
Yeah.
you know, is remarkable, and you know it's really, really exciting, isn't it? And
Yeah.
you know,
And also petrified of you don't know what it is, what made that sound or that bush move at the same time. And it was just really creepy to the point where like I actually physically wanted to run. And get out of that graveyard, but at the same time I felt safe just to walk.
I'm sure I can't remember, obviously, because we did a lot of that night. I'm sure you tried to talk to me over the mic, didn't you, to see if it was me behind you at the time or coming towards you, didn't you? And I said to you, no, I was on the other side of the grave, like the cemetery, doing my own investigation. So, and this is what's so good about it is we've got two lots of camera. It's chilling, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got two lots of cameras going at this time. So Harry's got his and I've got mine. So this is what I mean. We've got perfect validation of we're not messing about. We're on two separate sides of this cemetery, and we're catching all this stuff on our cameras and you know the EVPs and stuff. It's fantastic, and I don't think we could have asked for more that night.
Nah, I don't think we could have.
I feel like we've got unfinished business at both of these locations, and we will be going back to them, won't we?
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll catch more, but there's a lot on our list that we need to go through. So for a lot of people don't know, we're from Warrington. So at this minute in time, we're going to travel all over the UK to do these investigations. But at the minute we've got Warrington is quite big in paranormal stuff. So we've got tons of places, haven't we, in Warrington that we want to do first, and we'll get them out of the way and then we'll progress. But them two places we're definitely going to go back to, ain't we? And hopefully get more investigations out of him.
Mm-hmm. Sure is. How did you personally get into the paranormal?
How did I get into the paranormal?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really want to talk about it, really. So, how I got into paranormal, sorry guys. How I got into paranormal was from a very young age. So, when I was I'll tell you, when I was a baby, obviously, people say you speak to spirits and stuff like that. It's a known fact for kids, isn't it? But over the years, obviously, 5, 6, and 7, I was still doing it, and you know, I remember this one time I was about 5 years old, 6 years old, and I was playing in my room, and I don't know, I can't remember what I was playing or what I was doing at the time, but I just remember playing in my room, and I had this like built-in wardrobe in my mum's house.
Yeah.
So I've gone in there and I think I've gone to get something out of it, and I just opened the doors, and honestly, it scares me still to this day when I think about it. I opened the doors, and there's this monk stood in the cupboard.
Christ.
I honest to God, mate, it scared the life out of me. And like, to explain to you viewers, the monk. So bearing in mind, the building wardrobe that we had was from the floor to the roof, so it was the whole width of the wall. Yeah, the monk was not far from touching the roof. It was huge, and like, I remember I opened it and I looked and I just seen this like dark brown type clothing thing, and I remember thinking to myself, that's not mine. So I've looked up, and it was the worst thing I've ever done. Because I looked up and I just seen this like monk. It was like looking down at me.
Yeah.
I couldn't see the face, nothing. It was like, obviously it's hood over it. It was just pitch black. And oh my God, I just screamed. I looked up and remember I just screamed for my mum. Like, obviously I started screaming, I started crying. I was like, Mum, there's something in my cupboard, And obviously, you know, your parents don't really believe, do they? Like, they just think you're a kid and you're acting stupid. But honestly, mate, I've just never forgot about it, because it really terrified me. It was really, really scary. And that was the first time I actually ever came across proper paranormal stuff, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, growing up, and my family, if they watch this, my brothers and sisters who live with me, will validate. The house we lived in growing up, as you will know, was haunted. I won't say like ridiculously haunted, like to the point where you couldn't live in it, but we had a few spirits in there. Like, they never bothered us, and we God forbid, we never bothered them, but we had a few things going on. So that was the first ever paranormal thing that ever happened to me, and that's for years after that I just never wanted anything to do with paranormal. It terrified me, but a lot of things happened to me in that house. So like, that was one of the first things that ever happened to me, and that's what, you know, got me kind of believing. But over the years we used to have all sorts. So we had these two like children. I don't like talking about children's spirits because it's horrible, you know what I mean? It's sad. But we generally had these two young kid spirits, like a boy and a girl, and they used to run up and down the landing at night when we were in bed. And this is a true story, right? And my mum would come into like mine or my sister's rooms or anything like that, and kick and have a go at us and kick off like, "What are you doing on our bed? You know you should be in bed. Get to bed and go sleep." You know, and we're there in bed asleep like, "What are you on about?" You know, you just woke us up. And like, for years that happened, and so my mum finally, you know, believed that it weren't us. And these kids, she actually, after a while, she caught him herself. She's seen him herself. So it was like, we used to say to mum for years, "Mum, it's not us." And she's like, it is. Who else is it going to be? You know, there's no other kids in this house except from you. And that's what it was like for years, till she finally seen him and believed him. And, you know, that got me believing as well. You know, I thought to myself, like, you know, you're not going doolally.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, you don't think you're going doolally, because my brother and my other sisters have seen it, and we all used to be like petrified of it, you know what I mean? We used to like think to ourselves, like, you know, I ain't going upstairs on my own. And that's what it used to be like in our house. And
holding hands going
up. Like, you go up first, not me, type thing. And but there was one more spirit in the house. This is one we were terrified of, and she was quite common. She weren't like one what stayed in my mum's house, bearing in mind she used to like come in and come out now and again, you know what I mean? She'll come and go. So we used to have an old woman in. She used to like appear in this rocking chair. So it was like in my mum's back bedroom. And it was like the smallest room of the house. And I remember a couple of times seeing her. So she used to like just appear. It was only like for a couple of seconds, but then like disappear.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not joking. Like, I'm not just saying this for sake of it. You know, I wish you could ask my family, because they'd validate this for me. But she appeared, and she never bothered us. She used to appear for a couple of seconds. Like, you'd see her rocking a chair and she'd just disappear, and you kind of got used to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember this one time, I moved back into my mum's, so I was about 17, 18 years old, and I moved back into my mum's and I was sleeping in that back bedroom because obviously my brother and sister are in the other two rooms and they live with my mum anyway, so they got them bedrooms. And one night I was just chilling watching telly in my bedroom, and I've totally forgot about this lady.
Yeah.
You know, I totally forgot about her, and I just remember like watching telly and the telly. So I'm laying in bed, but the door's in front of me, the telly's to the side of me, so I'm looking to the telly, and in the corner near the window, she appeared and rocked, and she looked at me and she just went, "Hello, love." Honestly, that's what she said to me, and I just boom! I shot out of that room, and I never even shut the door behind me. I absolutely crapped myself, and it was so like weird because I don't know how I forgot about her, but for her just to appear and like it's like she knew I was there, so she said hello to me like she knew I was there, and like she was family, but she ain't no family to me.
Yeah.
And honestly, it gave me absolutely, it scared the life out of me. And I remember my mum saying, my mum never even asked if I was alright. She just went, "Oh, did you see her again then?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So, and for weeks and I must have been like nearly 3 months, I slept on the couch. I slept downstairs on the couch. I won't go back in that room because it terrified me. And, you know, this is what got me into the paranormal because it terrified me. But at the same time, I was like, oh, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, like, if I could investigate my mum's house, because bear in mind my sister lives there now. If I could investigate that house, I would, and I can guarantee I'd get tons and tons of stuff from that house. It's, you know, you've been in mum's house, and you know your own experiences. Like when you've gone in that house, what have you felt?
Yeah, I felt like a gush of wind when a like cold wind like go through me as I stand on the top of the hall, and I could always smell like burning roses, and I don't know why. Like Nan never burnt like roses or flowers or anything like that. So I go downstairs, ask his mum, "Now, are you burning flowers or roses?" And she goes, "No." And she goes, "Why?" Because I could smell them on the top where the hallway is, and it smelled nice, but it was creepy how it just smelled like burnt roses, and it was just terrifying. But it made me think a lot.
You know, I remember you once saying to me, like, you know, every time you went into my house, it always felt like someone was watching you, didn't it? And that's what it was kind of like, wasn't it, really? Like, it never felt malicious. It never felt bad, but you knew someone was there all the time.
I think somebody in that house is going to be a relative of ours because they never, ever made you feel unsafe. They made you feel safe, happy, and grateful that you're here with your family, not like morbid. Or you could have a bad day and you'll go into that house and you'll feel happy. And it's like
the spirits what were there. I do want to clarify what Harry's saying. Like, you know, even though it was scary and they did stuff, they were never horrible, and like they never bothered us and we never bothered them. So, you know, it was kind of like another family living in a family, but in a family home, like, but we weren't seeing each other. You know what I mean? They were living their life, we were living our life. So it weren't that bad, really, but it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just like the fact that there was something else there. That's what made it more exciting for me, because it's like you said, a family living with another family. That's
I also
happy.
I also remember one time I was with my cousin Mike, and Mike used to stay mine all the time. Like I'll stay, easy to stay mine, and like I remember one time we was in my room and we were young, we were about 11, 12 at the time. We were messing about and having a laugh and that, and it was late at night, and my dad come in and said, "Right, boys, it's time to go to bed." So obviously we put our things away and we went to bed.
Yeah.
And like I had this bunk bed, right, where, sorry guys, at the top was the bed, and at the bottom it was like what like you could fold it into a double bed and it fold back in like a couch type bed.
Oh yeah.
If you remember them, so it was like
Yeah.
a single bed on the top with like a double bed on the bottom, but you could turn it into a couch. So me and Mike was sat on that couch, and like I had my door open a bit, and honestly, I'd even get Mike on here one day to validate this for everyone. We were sat there and we are talking, and my door was open, and this is like at 12 at night. It was like a summer's day. It was hot,
Yeah.
hot night, and there's no wind, no nothing, and the door just slammed shut. Honestly, the door just went boom, and like it was massive, massive bang. And me and our mate just jumped, and we like hid under my blanket. And I just remember my dad come running in. He was like, "Do you two not listen? I've told you it's time to go to bed." Who do you think you are slamming your door at this time of night? And me and Michael under this blanket, like, weren't us. Honestly, and he was like, and my dad never believed us. And, you know, and our Mike really never believed in the stuff in my house, but he so believed after that. Because, honestly, the door, bearing in mind, the door was open for hours. After my dad told us to go to bed, my dad always left the door open because it was kind of a night light we grew up with. So that before my mum and dad went to bed, they'd leave the landing light on. So the door was half open, and like I say, it was open for hours.
Yeah.
And it just slammed shut. And I remember once saying to our mate, that was a ghost saying, like, trying to get us in trouble because we weren't going to bed.
Yeah.
And it worked. Yeah, the ghost, it grasped on us. So I've had a lot of stuff happen in, not just in my house, but with family in other houses. But obviously, we'll talk about that as we go along in the future. If people want to know more about what's happened to me and Harry in the past, because I've got loads of stories you might want to hear. So if you do, put a comment on this podcast if you'd like to hear more, and we'll do another one for you about what we've encountered. So Harry, obviously our paranormal investigations, the podcast side of everything.
Yeah.
What is your ambitions going forward within the paranormal investigation?
My ambitions is for this company, like go to different places with different groups. So like, which one is it? We follow the group of paranormal.
It's called Ghost Club Paranormal.
Ghost Club, and go with them, do videos and content, and get to know them. So like when we want to do something and we got like a big house, we can ask them to come, and obviously like bring people onto the podcast, famous people you may know, may not know, and just get big as a company. How about yourself?
Yeah, so talking about Ghost Club Paranormal, Jade's on there, and she goes with another lady. I can't remember her name. I think her name's Mandy. We've watched them quite a lot the last couple of months, and what Harry's getting at is we like what they do. The work's outstanding. So our ambitions, obviously, for what we do going forward is we'd like to work with other people. We want to invite, say, the non-believers on investigations and see if they can get anything themselves. So it's not all just about me and Harry. The ambitions is to be successful in what we do. Obviously, going forward, we need everyone to follow our pages, subscribe to us more. The more people we get, the more things we can do. You know what I mean? It opens up. But yeah, Jade, if you're out there watching, because I know you follow us, we do think you're fantastic, and one day we'd love to pair up with you. If we come to America or you come to the UK, we'd love to meet up with you. But it's not just them. There's a lot of paranormal groups that we follow. We'd love to link up with. As I see it, is the paranormal investigations with a community, ain't we? So we don't see that they're better than us or we're better than them. Obviously, it depends where you go. Like, to what you get. Like, you can have a really good day and you can have a really bad day where you don't get anything, but what we're trying to get at is we have a lot of respect, don't we, for other people, and we've had a lot of love as well, to be fair, lately, of other paranormal groups, because like me and Harry are kind of new to it all, but we've had experience in the past. We have done stuff in the past, but it's only the last couple of weeks where we've decided to do what we're doing now, like podcasting it and going live and stuff and showing our adventures off, really. So we will grow in time and we'll get better, you know, and our ambitions going forward is to get the likes of our viewers involved, you know, getting involved with other paranormal groups and doing something good for everyone. You know, it's not just about us and what we want to do and the paranormal. It's about getting everyone involved, getting people involved. You know, if you don't want to do it and you love watching us, and then we appreciate the love we've had for a lot of people. Like, we've had messages of people on our TikTok page. You know, it's overwhelming and it's nice, you know, giving us, you know, don't give up. You know, they like what we've done so far, and you know, we say the same because we do. We have a lot. Me and Harry are very respectful, and you know, we never say anything bad about any other people because there's no point. And you know, good on what people have done, and hopefully, you know, in time we'll link up with people like that, and you know, it'll be great. But what I want to state here before we carry on is, going forward on our podcast, we've got a lot of exciting stuff for you people to watch. So, like, this is why we just say stay tuned, subscribe to us, subscribe and share us to everyone, because the stuff that we've got coming in the next couple of months is really good stuff. Like, we've got a house that we're going to soon to investigate what's quite haunted, and we're really looking forward to that. That's going to be so scary but good at the same time.
It's going to be an interesting one, that to watch. We've
got people who are going to join us on the podcast. Like, we've got spirit mediums and psychic mediums who are going to join us on the podcast. So that's going to be really exciting, isn't it? I just hope they don't read me and I while we're on here, because obviously, you know, it'd be quite weird actually, but if the viewers, you know, we can go live with them. If you want us to go live when we have the mediums, please comment below saying you want us to go live. Share the hell out of us. The more subscribers we get, the quicker we'll get the medium in. But the lady we'll bring in, she is fantastic. But there's a few more I know out there as well who will bring in. But also, like Harry stated before, the podcast, we'd like to bring other investigators in, and we speak to them like a podcast. You know, the bigger we get, the better we can become, and the better content we can get out there. You know, the better equipment we can get for the podcast for people. So the only way is up, really, isn't it? So just a little insight there. We've got a big things coming up in the next couple of months, especially things that we've got coming in that I'm really excited for it. So looking forward to it.
If you had the chance to do an investigation with like a big popular group, who would it be and why?
Oh, there's a lot.
There is a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot. Probably a lot of people would think I'd say Ghost Adventures, and don't get me wrong, Zach Bagans, if you're listening to now, I would, in a heartbeat, I would investigate. I'd probably hide behind you all night, but I would love to investigate with them. Like, they've got to be the top dog. Like, if you look into other paranormal groups who are out there on TV, they're good, don't get me wrong, they're fantastic. Everyone's different. Yeah. And that's what makes this, what we do, great, because everyone's different. But at this minute in time, I'd have to say there's a group from the UK, and I watch them on Discovery Plus a lot, and I really like them. It's called Help, My House is Haunted.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And the two investigators on there, and the medium Ian, is, you know, it's fantastic. The stuff they do is fantastic, and, you know, I look at them, and don't get me wrong, me and Harry, you know, what we do is we want to be us. But if anyone ever asks me who do you want to be like, is them, because they're humble, they're honest, and, you know, don't get me wrong, every other Ghost Adventures or paranormal team out there, they are humble, but these are just, they go along the business, very quiet, and they go to houses and they help people, and it's a proper fantastic program.
Yeah,
And it's close to home as well, isn't it? So
it is. Yeah,
if I could ever investigate with someone big like that, like who would I love to? And it's them.
yeah,
They're fantastic, and Barry and Jane as well, who are in it. They're the two people who do the investigations along with Ian. They're fantastic. Honestly, guys, if you've got Discovery Plus, go and watch them. That's all I'm going to say. Go and watch them. It's called Help My House Is Haunted. You've got 5 seasons so far. When it first started, Ian weren't with him; it was someone else. But don't know if it was season 2 or 3. Ian came into it, and he's just made it so much better. He's fantastic. He's a fantastic medium, and the investigators, they're all fantastic. The work they do, the stuff they get is fantastic. Like season 5 now, they got some juicy stuff. I'm not going to give any spoilers, right? But go and watch season 5.
I'll have to go and watch that.
Watch
Sounds
it.
really good.
The things they get. I will say one thing. One of them gets punched by a spirit. He goes, honestly, he launches across the room, and I thought, man, imagine that happening to me. Honestly, you think you're Rocky Balboa, wouldn't you? And get up and go, come on then. But at the same time, you don't know what to do, because you could see and this is how true it was, you could see the fear in his face.
Yeah.
Like, he was on the floor thinking, what the hell just hit me? And he was speechless. And, I'm not going to say any more than that. Just go and watch them. The viewers had it. Yeah. Go and watch them. It is a fantastic program, but they're definitely one of the people I'd want to hook up with. What about yourself? If there's like someone up there,
there is this a new one. I wouldn't go high at the minute.
Yeah.
But there's this group, 2 lads started off like me and Alex, but the followers are big, and they're a bunch of amazing people. I think it's called GHI or something like that. It's 2 lads who go around the world and does stuff as a family. They take the family with them and everything. It's proper good. I'll try and find the TikTok videos.
I think he's on about the company called GTI, is it? Yeah. GTI, yeah. The 2 lads that, they're a fantastic group, ain't they? They're very good.
The content is amazing.
Yeah.
And the way they do it is a lot different, I think, from anyone else who would. But other than that, I would do it with them.
Yeah, I agree. They are great, and I've watched a few of their TikToks, and I've watched a few of their investigations. And people ask me a lot, like, "Is that where you want to get to?" Well, yeah, we do. I'll be honest with you guys. If you have TikTok, if you have Instagram, if you have YouTube, please follow and subscribe to us. It's only going to help us build. And these people, they've got big followings, so they're able to do good stuff. And me and Harry appreciate them, you know what I mean? Because they help, even though we don't speak to them, they help us with the way they are.
Yeah.
Learning off them in a sense, isn't it? And, they're very, very, they're good lads, and I like what they produce in it.
It is good. It is fantastic work.
Yeah, I do like them a lot, to be fair. So going forward, that's definitely one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no. So far, which place we have investigated has made you unsettled?
The only place what's unsettled me is probably Sankey. Like you said, it's hard to explain. Like how you said, you were out in the open, but you didn't feel like you were like in the open. It did feel a bit closed in. It felt a bit uneasy, and what was a bit uneasy weren't really much of the spirits. It was to do with just being in the open. Like there could have been people around, and you got to be aware of that. But at the same time, you never felt like you were alone, and there was always something there, and it was very uneasy because like I could feel them and sense them, but they never communicated with us, and that's what
Yeah.
was unsettling, because like you thought, okay, you've been following us now for the past half an hour, for an example. You've not come through the spirit box. You've not done anything we've asked to do, but you're there, and it was just it was like an unsettling presence, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, everything else to do with that investigation was pretty cool, and like I said before, we never got as much as we wanted to, but going forward, we'll hopefully get more. But that was one place what was a bit, well, it weren't the place. It was just the surroundings was a bit unsettling for me. But overall, it was a fantastic night, and we're definitely doing that place again soon with with the gadgets that we've got, and hopefully get more for you viewers, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. If there's one place that you want to investigate, Harry, is the one place you'd want to investigate?
The one place is 30 East Drive. It is called the Monk House. The only reason why I want to do it is I've heard all the stories about it. I researched it about there was a guy who lived there. He assaulted and murdered a 14-year-old girl. He got hanged the same as that spot where the house is actually plot on, and his body was actually thrown down a well. Until this day, a lot of people can still see the monk every time you go in, which is scary, but I think that would actually help a lot of people to come out and say, yeah, look at that there. That's scary. Is that anyone there? You know what I mean? Like, it just like makes people believe, but also like there's going to be great content coming from there if we ever did it. But like we say, we have to get all them viewers and followers first before we can do anything like that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff online about this 30 East Drive. Obviously, Most Haunted, everyone knows Most Haunted. Trust, I love that program going up.
Yeah.
I was a bit unsure about the mediums who were on there. Let's just say, I think everyone knows who I'm on about.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a, to me, I'm not going to say what it was, but yeah. But anyway, it was a fantastic program.
Yeah.
Like Yvette Fielding and her husband Carl, who basically ran it, and I loved a lot of the people on there. She's one of the women. If you're out there, Yvette, I'd love to do an investigation with Yvette and Carl, because I have a lot of respect for them, and I love the work they did. They were, people used to think she's annoying because she screamed and that, and yeah, sometimes it was annoying. She did go over the top, but it was real.
Yeah, and that's the fear what people don't get to see fully until they actually see it themselves.
It is scary, and that's what people don't understand. But I would love to, if Most Haunted, I don't know if they're still going anymore. I know they've not long. They did a comeback, didn't they? But I don't know if they do it anymore. But there's someone else, and they went to 30 East Drive, and I remember watching that with my dad at home when it first got aired, and it was crazy. It was proper, like, and that's how it got big, wasn't it? Really, and I'm sure people were living in the house at the time as well. But I think you've done a bit of research, and no one lives there no more.
No one lived there. It used to be owned, but it's just like a big haunted house now that somebody's bought it, but I think it's like the council. So if you want to go to it, you have to go and ask the council to go in, look around, and do an investigation. So that's how it's still like that. And yeah, that'll be a big one I think we should do. But...
No, I do want to do that, but that's probably one of the scariest places to do. But going, like I say, guys, going forward, me and Harry's got a lot of exciting things going on. If people know Warrington very well, we've got a place called Watling Hall. We've contacted them, and hopefully we are sorting something out with them, and that's going to be exciting. So please stay tuned for that, and we will let everyone know when that's happening. We can't wait for that one. Everyone knows it's haunted, and who owned it and stuff like that. The Greenhalghs family, the brewery company, when he was back in I think it was the late 1800s, 1900s, who owned it, and you know, and people. This is what me and Harry do. We do a lot of research and what we want to do, but it's all down to the support really that we need. And there's some. I don't want to keep going over it, but there is some fantastic stuff in that to come, and we want you all to know that there's some fantastic things coming your way. So we hope you stay tuned and watch them all. But that's really much it, innit, really, for the podcast today.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want to thank the people who are going to watch this. Give us feedback, guys. This is the first time we've ever done a podcast, so obviously things might have not gone perfect, and we're not editing this. By the way, any podcast we do will never be edited because we want it to be real. So there might be times where things have stalled or questions are not as good as what other people's be. But you know what? I don't care. We are who we are. Over time, the podcasts will get better, and you know, better questions and better answers, and like you say, the guests we're going to get on it.
Yeah.
But going forward, the podcasts are going to be about the investigations that me and Harry have done. So it'll be interesting stuff, and we can't wait to share it with you. And like we say, that if you can follow all our socials, you know, descriptions will be there. You know, the links will all be in our descriptions below, and go and give them a like and a follow and watch them. But we do want to thank everyone for who's like supported us so far and wished us well, because it means a lot to us, and it gives us that oof to carry on doing what we're doing.
Use our motivation to do all this.
You people motivate us to do it, and like I say, the more we do it, the better it's going to get, the bigger it'll be, and the better equipment we'll get. Like, you know, we want people to see that we started here. Then in a year's time, you're going to see something much better, ain't they? And you know, also, guys, if you want us to go live as well on the podcast and our investigations, comment below. Let us know, because we will. You know, we've not done a live on our investigations yet. It's something we've looked into in it.
Yeah.
And we've not done it yet. Like you say, we've done a lot behind closed doors to get where we are today, because you don't just pick up a camera and go investigating, because it never works that way. We've done months in practice, haven't we, of all this, and where we are now, it's fantastic, and we're only going to get better. So if you'd like to see us go live on the podcast, please let us know in the comments below. I hope you can all give it a like and a share. But importantly, guys, for me and Harry, we just hope you've enjoyed the podcast. You know, give us a review. Let us know how you felt. You know, if there's anything you want us to bring up in the next podcast, you know, comment below. Me and Harry will, you know, we'll jot it down, and the person who asked us, you know, we'll give you a shout out, and we'll, you know, we thank you for the question. We'll answer it. You know, we'll answer everyone. You know, that's who we are, and this is what the podcast is all about. It's the podcast is to interact with you, the viewers, because you're important to us, and you know, we want you to be a part of us. It's not just us using the background watching, and they're a part of us. So we appreciate that, and hopefully see you soon, guys. Thank you very much for watching.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
See you now. Bye.
See you later.